Hey everybody, can you see me now? Yeah, literally probably started right as I was. Oh my gosh, I forgot to hit the go live button, so I knew there was something wrong. I wish you could see that, but everyone can hear and see me right now, right? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I literally was going through here, and I was talking about the questions, and no one was responding, and that's why I knew something was wrong. So I was like, let's talk about this. So, yeah, you guys couldn't hear anything I was saying. I was saying good day to everyone, and I gave Adam some points. Wow, forgot to hit the go live button. Whoops. That's why I got my coffee. We even started. I'll do it right this time with some Mario music. I actually hit the Mega Man button, and then I hit the Zelda button, but this time I hit the Mario button. So you guys missed all the fun and craziness, the wackiness of starting up here. But we're already in here right now on question 1B. So let's get serious here, because Brian's already wasted 5 minutes of our time. So what we're looking at right here is a data set that is transactional, and this is kind of weird. So if you're in 320, listen up, and remember, post your questions in the chat. We'll do them next. We're going to go like 320, 474. So what 474 is dealing with is transaction data. So I want you guys to think about what this means right here. We've got here 1,821 playlists. Just think about a Spotify playlist. I know it says transactions right here, but it's literally like a Spotify playlist. And what do I mean by that? Well, and we'll go to the notes just so you can see it. This is a transactional data frame of people who went to a grocery store. So this is the first person's items they bought in their cart. Here's the third person's. All they bought was whole milk. So you can see the third person right here, all they bought was whole milk. So it's important to understand what the data you're dealing with is. So when we look at this right here, and I knew something was wrong when like no one was responding, because I was like, who has a favorite band? And I was going through and naming bands. I was like, no one has a favorite band besides me. So what I did is I wrote a little bit of code right here called item frequency. And what this is going to do is it's going to tell us how often a band appears in someone's playlist. So we're going to go to item frequency music, and then you're going to type in your favorite band. So this time, people are going to tell me their favorite band besides Brian, because Brian was sitting here. I was like, okay, I like Muse. Let's see what percent like Muse. 19.8% people like Muse. I like the Killers, of course. Like Ben Folds, he's way lower on the playlist. Oh wait, he's not there. Oh, Ben Fold. We'll do. Yep, we'll do it. Carly, you got it. Anyone else have a favorite band besides me? Is this where there's Ben Folds 5? Let's check out BTS. Let's check out Blackpink. They're huge. It'll tell you how old this data set is. Nope, no Blackpink. One Direction, our favorite band. Vajrna, 100 points Vajrna. Nope. Two Black Eyed Peas. And if you know, Adam maybe knows how it's spelled, you have to do the capitalization. There we go. 14% of people have Black Eyed Peas in their playlist. So does that make sense what this code is giving us? It's giving us the percent of people who have it in their playlist. Like if you were to look at people's Spotify playlists, if these were Spotify playlists, 14.2% of people have it in their playlist. You could go right here and you could figure out how many by doing length of music. Length of music is literally how many playlists there are. So we're just going to say there's 259. So this code right here really helps. I'll drop it in the chat. But if you remove out the length on it, it will tell you how many. I mean, if you have the length, it'll tell you how many. If you remove the length, it'll tell you the percent. So are we making rules already? How many bands have at least 80 listeners? So we want bands with at least 80 listeners. So what we need to do is we need to do item frequency of music, and it's going to be crazy. You ready? Whoa, it printed way too much to the screen. But with this item frequency of music, we should be able to do greater than, here's the support. We should be able to do that. Cool. Now, if you think what we have here, we have a vector of trues and falses. So this is trues and falses. And you could do this right here. You could do, let's say, interest. These are the ones we're interested in. I'll call it some things like that. And item frequency. Item frequency. And let's go here to music, because we're going to get the item frequency of the music. And we're only going to get the positions we're interested in. Now, I think, yep, that looks to have done it. Yeah, let's double check this math on this. That's 4.39% and all these percentages. Now, we could go right here and go to which. The trues and falses also work, but the which will turn it into positions. So if you look at what you get right here, you get positions out of this. And so those are all the positions, and we could store those into interest and do the same results. Does this make sense right here for the people asking about this one? Now, we're not done with this yet because we want to figure out how many this is. So we could go around here and do a length around it and not multiply it. We could do a length, and there's 142. So what did we do? We first made a condition right here. We went to the item frequencies of music. We just took a look at it. Always run your code in parts. So the 80 out of, that means there's at least 80 Spotify playlists, I'm just calling them Spotify playlists, that have that artist. So the artist appears in at least 80 out of the 1,821 playlists. Does that make sense, Adam? So you're saying they need to have this much support, and support is the item frequency of it. That is the support. Carly, 100 points right there. Great. You can get up to 200 office hour points. Keep giving these questions, asking these. This is the support of the artist, also known as the item frequency. And we're saying that they have to have at least this. You could combine this all into one line, but it gets a little bit more messy. But right here, we see that we have the artists. We first figured out the positions of the artists, and then we went, and I guess, you know what we might be able to do? Actually, we're probably just fine to do this. Yeah, that's fine. So much work. Why didn't I just do that? That works too. So, because it already had the everything, and I guess you could also find out the names. Is it a named vector? Yeah, there's the names of the artist. So you could do that. You could also get the length right here. Just all the different things you can do with it, how you can report it. That's why there's always 10 ways to the right answer. And sadly, it looks better when we have it across the screen. You can see a lot of big name artists here, like 303, I can't say it. AC/DC, Adam Lambert, Amy Winehouse. You can definitely tell is like an older playlist of stuff right here. And I think there was another question from 474. Feel free 320 to ask up. Ashley Tisdale right there. Feel free 320 to say like, hey, do this one. There was the next one, 1F and 1G. 1F, the lift of the rule, Hillary Duff, Rihanna, Ashley Tisdale, is about, okay, also speaking of earlier, Ninja and Shroud don't have to stream on Mixer anymore. What? No way. Did that just happen today, Adam? Did we like speak about them and it changed? Beyonce. Does she have a, I think it's because of the special characters. An hour ago? What? So weird we mentioned them and that we made that happen. Beyonce. Sorry. Sorry, no, we don't. This is Dr. Petru's fault and it's not me. This assignment is due, isn't this one due like, sorry. This is why I never want to say when anything's due lest, I think this one's due tonight. This is due tonight because we moved it even. This is due tonight. This is due tonight. This is due tonight. Can't make that clear enough. This is due tonight. Yep. Yeah, I don't want to say it is and then it's not. And then we moved it from the weekend. So here we'll do the F and G right here. Then we'll go to 5C. Let's go to F. And so we probably more 474s in right now because you guys have the assignment due. But 320s, feel free to speak up. The lift for the rule of this is this. Interpret this lift in two ways. Okay. So this is really key right here. What does it mean for something to have lift? Can anyone tell me what the lift means right here? And like you can just, if you have an answer already, you can copy it. Let's talk about it. What does lift mean? I want us to think about like if somebody buys, let's like just change this to market basket for a moment, like grocery store market basket. And we have here bread, and we have here jelly, and we have here peanut butter. Peanut butter. Now this might make more sense. Like I think this is one that like makes perfect sense about what's going on right here. What is one way to interpret this right here? The first way I like is the given way. And then the second way is the Bayesian probability, talking about with the knowledge that someone has, well, no, that's the first way, the given. Second way is the random chance versus what we see. Kind of, sort of. You're kind of right. Not predicted, but expected. If bread and jelly was, that's the rule. So if bread and jelly are in the cart, how does it impact the probability of peanut butter? So if bread and jelly are in the cart, how would that impact the probability of peanut butter? And don't change your question to this, but I just like to do different examples. So there's two ways to interpret the lift. One is given bread and jelly are in the cart, the probability of peanut butter is 7.2 times more than it would be. The probability that someone listens to Ashley Tisdale is 7.2 times more. So remember that this is a factor increase, Phaedron right there, 100 points. You're very, very close. So I'm going to change the wording slightly. The probability that someone listens to Ashley Tisdale is 7.2 times more if they listen to Hillary Duff and Rihanna. So it's a factor increase. It's by like how much increase in factor. So a very non-significant lift would be 1. You could have lift below 1, it would mean something is less likely. So that's one way to interpret it, is that given someone has the left-hand side, how does that increase? Think about it, it's lifting it up. It's called lift because usually it's above 1, but it could make it less likely. Like you could see lift below 1, like given someone has AC/DC and Metallica, what's the probability they listen to Ashley Tisdale? Sorry, maybe you guys are like, oh, AC/DC and Ashley Tisdale, that's my playlist. But I think that would have a lift below 1. Does everyone see why AC/DC, Metallica would maybe have a lift below 1? Because what am I saying? People who listen to AC/DC and Metallica, the probability they have Ashley Tisdale would be what compared to the regular probability of Ashley Tisdale? Does that make sense? Can you think about where I'm going with that? So the rule would be here, I'll change it. AC/DC, Metallica, and Ashley Tisdale. So now this one would probably have a lift of something like that right there. Yeah. So the way this would be is, given someone has AC/DC and Metallica, the probability they have Ashley Tisdale is 30% of what it would normally be just like Ashley Tisdale by random chance. Like maybe 10% of people listen to Ashley Tisdale, but if they listen to AC/DC and Metallica, the new probability would be 3%. Like if 10% of people listen to Ashley Tisdale, if they listen to AC/DC and Metallica, 3% of those people listen to Ashley Tisdale. So it's less than what we would expect. But when you do rules like Spears, I don't know how to spell Britney Spears, and Madonna, and then you get something like this right here. So the two ways to interpret it, which we've been doing a lot of the first way, is that given someone has Britney Spears and Madonna, the probability they listen to Ashley Tisdale is 5.3 times more. But the other way to interpret it goes down to the very last questions, which we're working on way earlier today, right down here. And we had some stuff worked out here. We lost it, though, it looks like. But this equation shows it right here. This is the equation. I want to break down the top part of it right here. This is the equation for lift, and it mathematically shows what's going on. So what is the top part of it right here? The top part of it is percent of time A and B occur. That's the percent of time A and B occur. And then the bottom part of this is percent of time A and B are expected via random chance. They're not going to get me for that. They haven't got me yet. Via random. We'll figure out exactly how long I can play that one of these days. So this equation right here, which is used later on, gives hints or basically tells you how to interpret that last part. Because we're saying the lift is the factor ratio of how much we observe. Like, think of it this way. The way in which we observe Ashley Tisdale, Rihanna, the group of artists it was, occurring is 7 point whatever times more likely than we would have expected via random chance. Like the amount of times we observe it is actually this much more. And that literally goes back to 320 F ratio, which F is equal to observed over expected. So the lift is basically your F ratio. Again, if you remember 320, we talk about it's how much we observe something, which is the top part of the equation right here. This is the amount of time it actually occurs. And then the bottom part is what we would expect via random chance. So when you think about the lift that way in the mathematics, you can say that we see this combination of items blank amount of times more than we would have expected via random chance. Yeah, I know, Adam, right? I know. I don't know. Like, maybe I should start playing it again and just see what happens. But they hit me with that. And you know what it might have been? It might have been like 12 seconds. I got to make sure I only played for like 5 seconds. I looked at their page and it was like, if you appeal, you should go look at the Monster Cat page. And it's like, if you appeal our copyright, and we'll hit you with a copyright strike. So there's a difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike. The one video where I got the copyright claim, you might see ads on it, and it's not my doing. I have no control over the ads on that anymore. And I got afraid. I don't want you guys to watch my videos and then there be ads on these videos, because that's not my intent. Like, I put ads on videos I want for general purpose, but I don't want ads on like lecture videos where, like, you know, I want you to sit down and watch it. I want you to be like, oh, I got to watch another 10-second ad. Even though it's 10 seconds, I'm not going to do it to lecture videos, because that's, you know, it's lecture videos. You guys are here for the lecture. But that one has ads on it. UT's like, oh yeah, no, I think it was like 12 seconds. I think I let the random song go a little bit long, and they're really good at catching it. So, I got to like play the random. Got to be like, see, I've already played it once today. Got to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm afraid. I think I jammed out to it. I think I'll have to go look at the video and like see how long I played it, because it shows you like the copyright part of your video. But Adam, talk to me more about this. Like I want it's, you got to learn the rules and the guidelines of YouTube. There was another question on here, 5C. You got it, Adam. Let's do 5C. I think I might still have, let me look. I'll look at it another time. Wait, is this 5C? Is that 5C? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Normally, a lift of 1.25 does not get amount of attention. It is close to 1. However, think of a scenario, a number for the overall fraction of cards with item B, where rule A, B, having a lift of 1.25 would imply that item B is in the cart with 100% certainty when item A is in there. So with this right here, okay, so it says, however, think of a scenario, a number for the overall fractions of cards with items B in it. Okay, so what is this asking right here? You can do some notation. I.e., let me put it in here, the what of B. Did I not do that right? Looks too long. Whoa, it's extending it. All right, I spelled it out. I.e., this something of item B. Think a number for the overall fraction of cards that have item B. So we're talking about the what of B right here. There's two names for it. It gets confusing because we talk about this of a rule, but you can have this of an item, which is the item frequency. But I was thinking about the S word for it. What would this be right here? Because we're thinking about the overall frequency. Yep, support. Nin, 100 points. Great job. Support. Adam also 100 points. Yep, support. So where the rule having a lift implies that B in the cart would be 100% certain. So this right here, if we say 100% certain, then what is this? I.e. it says we're 100% certain. There we go. What is this? So we would say B is in the car with 100% certainty if, yeah, that's confidence. Yep, it's confidence. Yeah. So that's the confidence in the rule. So it gives us the confidence in the rule. So can you figure out what the original support of B would be if, when you times the original support by 1.25 right here, you would get a confidence of 1? What would be the original support of B? This is a great test question, because like if you know what to do with the numbers, you can figure out pretty quickly. There might, what would the original support of B be? I think at like 4:45 I'll get a second cup of coffee. Get a cup of coffee. However I made the coffee today, it was really good. Good job, bro. Just sometimes I make coffee and I'm like, didn't make it well enough. I was gonna drink a second Red Bull and I was like, I have coffee beans. Oh, no one knows? This is the way it was when I wasn't broadcasting. I was like, does anyone know? No. Well, that's the lift. So the original support of B is the original probability. So the question is, what is the support of B that when you raise it when you do it to a lift of 1.25, you receive a confidence of 1? What is, so having a lift of 1, it has a lift of 1.25, and then it would have a certainty of 100%. So given item A is in there, B's probability increases by a factor of 1.25. And that's kind of the tip right there, because if B's probability increases by a factor of 1.25 to 100%, go backwards. Close, Adam. I think, yeah, Caroline, I think you're right. We can check this out because we can do a little mathematics to confirm that if we take the original probability of B and times it by this, we should get a graphic error is what we get. But we get one of these days I'll figure out how to beat that do try catch error. But just think about this. It's like 80% of people buy bananas. But then if you have a lift of 1.25, because that's a maximum lift, here's a really good test question. And well, let me not do that yet. 1.25 of the lift here means instead of 80% of people buying bananas, now 25% more of them buy bananas, so 100% of people are buying bananas. So a lot of people buy our bananas, 80% do, but then we send a coupon. If you buy like milk and bananas, you get, people are buying the milk, so they're also buying the bananas. I don't know, however we're doing it, we're getting people to buy, knowing that people, because you could even put that someone has a coupon on their card, like giving people have the coupon, the probability of them buying bananas goes up by this. So we could find the people who are not buying bananas, send them the coupon, and you could literally say someone had the coupon on their card, because we can track that. We can put that as an item in their cart to see, given someone has this coupon, how does it change the probability? Yep. Here's a really easy test question. We've got an awesome job with, what's his name? Alex is doing a great job in 320. He's putting all those test questions in, potential test questions. But what is the maximum lift for, if item B has support? Here's a question for you. Ready? Test question time. Item B has a support of 0.40. What is the maximum lift? That's test question. Who's got it? 100 points first person. What is the maximum lift? Item B has a support of 0.40. What's the maximum lift? If you know how to do it, it's pretty quick. Because think, what's the maximum confidence you can have? So then if you know what the maximum confidence you can have, then, yep, 2.5. Yep, 2.5. And you can confirm this. You can always just take and do 1.00 divided by that. And it can only increase by a factor of 2.5. I know, right? Yeah, Alex is just crushing it right there. And then Madeline, good question. So do you get it? As I see the O, it's because this can only be 2.5 times what its value is. So here's a very quick one. You ready? What's the maximum lift now? If you know how to do this, it's very quick. What's the maximum lift for the item B has support of 0.10. Maximum lift? Yep. It's 10. What's the maximum lift on this probability right here? The maximum lift on this one is what? So you know how to do it. You'd be like, oh, that's the highest possible lift, which this one can get really lifted up. The original probability could raise a lot. So this one has a much higher potential. Yep. 100 points. All these people, you can get 200 office hour points. But lift is the change to the probability with the knowledge that other things are in the cart. So if you're getting it, you understand kind of what maximum lift can be. What other questions were there? We've done so well. Surely you can only max it out to 1. So it is what you need to multiply to. Yep. That's exactly it. So you can literally take and go the maximum lift divided by the value, and you can, or the maximum confidence, excuse me, because confidence can only go as high as 1. So to achieve a confidence of 1, you'd have to receive a lift of 50. Does that make sense with this equation? To achieve a confidence of 1 with an original probable support or item frequency of 0.02, you'd have to have a lift of 50. So hopefully that makes sense as I say through these words, and you're like, yes, I get it. The confidence, the lift, the support. Those words should hopefully, it's going to pop it out of my ear right there. Hopefully that should make sense. What other questions are there? Put on some Mega Man. What's the next question? 1G, you got it. Look at this. We can go right here. Like going to 1G. We got this. Using a single line of code, print to the screen the rules that involve Muse Arctic monkeys in the consequent. Is the consequent the left-hand side or the right-hand side? Really easy questions right here. Consequent, LHS or RHS? LHS stands for left-hand side. RHS stands for right-hand side. What is the consequent? Put some notes in here for us. So it is the right-hand side. It's like the consequence of something. So you can, this right here is going to make it bold when I print. If you put notes like that, that's fine. If you want to put reminders for yourself what the consequent is, just good to know the terminology that the consequent is the right-hand side. So we need to make the rules right here. Where did we make the rules? Where did we make the rules? Where did we make the rules? The rules. Wait, that's not rules. Did we make rules? Build a rule set. Here we go. So we have to make this rule set here. Did we change the rule set? Tell me if we changed the rule set, especially if anyone has the answers. I really like that rainbow stream. That was really awesome. So build a rule set using the support and a minimal. Okay, here we go. Brian is going to write the a priori without using the nodes. Yeah, do it. Take the training wheels off. Look, it even shows you. It says parameter, and it's got equal list and control. I don't know what appearance does. I don't know what that argument does. I should look that up. But what's the data we're going to use here? We're going to use here music, And it's like, okay, I'm going to help you out, Brian. And then we're going to go here to parameter. Parameter equals list. This is where we're going to put in the list. We know that confidence is not spelled like that. Confidence is equal to this right here. Thank you, Ahmed. 100 points, Ahmed. Getting some positivity in the chat. We got this. Look at this. It's going to work. We got trolled earlier by... I wrote it perfectly. Whoa. I wrote it, and it didn't work. And which thing am I? Okay, good. We don't want to do that yet. And then... And I think that's it, right? And a minimum level of this. Okay, then that's that. And then we go here. Oh, no. So I'm going to break it. And then control equals list verbose. You don't have to do this, but it's nice. And there's that. Go away. Okay. We need to delete the non-significant rules. Andrew was putting this code in the chat earlier. I'll probably just rewrite it out. So right here, we look to be good. Let's see here. It worked. We like it when it works. We got 46,404 rules. Oh my gosh. And so now we need to remove out the redundant and the non-significant. This is where the code gets interesting because we need to go here and we need to do, we need to check the rules. Let's see here. Redundant. It's is.redundant, right? There it is redundant. And is redundant takes the, there it goes, takes the data frame and it takes the rules, I believe. So I believe it takes music and then it takes rules. Rules. Don't act weird, R. Or is it going to just take the rules? There we go. So these are the ones that are not redundant. Okay. So now we have the rules that are not redundant. And so what did I just write right here? The first line of code found the redundant rules. This finds the non-redundant rules. What we're going to do is we're going to go inside of our rules, and we're going to take the rules that are not redundant, and we're going to overwrite those into the rules. So this right here is a check to see if a rule is redundant. We don't want the redundant rules, though. We want the non-redundant rules. Then we're going to go inside of the positions and rules and take only these rules. This is going to be a little bit crazy on the output. And now we're going to take the non-redundant rules, which I think we just did it. And then the significant rules is going to be same thing. So, well, it doesn't have anything new. So is significant, and there's the A rules, and let's open it up. There we go. It takes X, and then it takes transactions. So the transactions data frame, first it's going to take the rules right here, and then it's going to take music, and it's going to tell us if the rules are significant, and they're all significant. We only want to take the significant rules. So Andrew coming to the rescue right here. We're writing it from scratch today. That's what we're doing. I had my coffee, so my brain is ready to go, and look at this. There we go. Oh, you're fine, Andrew. I mean, it's on the screen. You can drop it back in the chat if you want. People are probably going to be very happy if you drop that in the chat. But you just got to practice it. You got to read what the code says. That's the last drop of coffee right there. The bright lights can't beat me today. We got this right here. Will what work? This works right here. Do you have it? We should have a total of 19,981 rules. It's your random noises. So I have the which. Yeah, that works too. I believe so. The reason that this works right here, see what we can probably do is we can probably just put this to a which. Here, let's do this. The which will turn the trues and falses into positions, and we somehow did something right here. So we should have the same amount of rules afterwards, but trues and falses can be used. Yeah, works same. Just, always give it a check, because you can use the vector of trues and falses, or you can use the positions of the trues and falses, because the vector of trues and falses will work as returning the elements in those positions. So multiple ways to do things, and we just confirmed it works both ways. We got the same thing. Both ways work. Good stuff. In 1D, 1G, we go down here to 1, was it 1G? I'm losing my mind. So right here, using a single line of code, print to the screen the 3 rules that involve Muse, Arctic monkeys in the consequent. So we go right here, and we need to do sort, not subset of the rules, and hopefully I called it rules. I called it rules. And then we have to go here. The consequent is the right-hand side, and then I need help. Here, we'll do this. We're going to grab the names. You can use single quotes. Not the biggest fan of them. What am I missing? Oh, we can't. Those are backticks right now. What am I missing between the C and the RHS? What am I missing between the C and the RHS? What am I missing? Not in. Good guess. 100 points right there. What am I missing? What is Brian missing? Close. We want percent I in percent. 100 points, Carly, right there. Percent AI in percent, and we'll do 1F next. You got it. So when we read this reads, let's make a subset of the rules. You can go right here and do enter for the next line. And the rule has to have on the right-hand side something that is contained in Muse or Arctic Monkeys. Now, this should make a subset of 3 rules. Good. If you do this, it'll make a subset of no rules, because now the right-hand side has to have both those things. Does that make sense that we're saying with this line of code, the right-hand side has to have all of these things? But with this line of code, the right-hand side can have either of these things. We can go here to sub, store it into sub. We can go to inspect and go to inspect the sub, and we can see the rules. So that's how we can print to the screen the 3 rules for the things right here. We can sort them if we need or things like that. But does that make sense? What we have going on right here, the difference between percent AI in percent and percent between, I in. And those are good things for the test. Like, I could literally write out 3 different rules, and I could say which of these rules will do this. So there will be code on the final. There'll be theory on the final. Lots of code, lots of theory. So, and lots of stuff on model building. Like, get ready. The whole next 5-6 days of class and everything is model building. So it's all about that at the end of the class. And use a single line of code. Well, okay, if they really want that. If you really want, you could just go inspect around this. If it's meant to be a single line of code, you can just do this. There you go. And that's a single line. I'll even drop this one in the chat for you guys. There we go. So, but that's one line of code. Okay, you want to do one line? Cool. I could have also appended the other code on it and make it technically one line. But yeah, just if you want to make something work like that. I think Andrew had one next. Can you help with the 1F? 1F, let's go 1F. 1F says, the lift of the rule Spears, Madonna, Ashley Tisdale is 5.3. Wait. Andrew, I think we did this one. So, wait, just the response? Do you have the response from it? So review back a little bit. Well, we can do it again here if no one has any other questions. But this was maybe the very early on. Can we do the second part of 1F? Yeah, okay, what's the second part? By calculating and comment on the probabilities of finding Ashley Tisdale before and after knowing before in this list, this value requires using the value of the lift and the support of Ashley Tisdale. So the first way right here, by commenting on how often these bands are appear together in user's list, likes compared to list generate. Okay, yeah. So here, I'll just go through this one again right here, because it's very important. This one right here is based on the calculations down here. So when we were talking about this earlier, this function right here, maybe it was a dream, because I swear I moved these things about. So I'm gonna just watch this right here. The first one right here is talking about how often the 2 items actually appear together. We'll say occur. So this is how often they actually occur. And then this one right here is how often they occur by... No, go away. Random chance. Can it be like a combined 10 seconds? So this is how often the items appear together. They actually appear. And then the bottom is how often they appear by random chance. And if you look at this formula right here is the lift formula that you put in the values and you get the lift out of. So the lift is literally how often these 2 items appear together compared, like a ratio of how often they appear together, actually together, which is this, the top part of the equation, versus how much they appear by random chance, which is just the mathematical probability of times the 2 together. So does that make clear the first part of 1F? Like the first part of 1F is the way we calculate lift right there, which is just how often they appear together. Here we go right here. That's this one. It's the ratio saying that Ashley Tisdale and Spears and Madonna appear together, and then I've changed the names of the artists here. But whatever the 3 names of the artists are, appear together, whatever the lift is, more than we would have expected them to appear together by random chance. Do people think they have that? These 3 artists, blah, 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 appear together blank times more. So it's a ratio, it's a factor. So it's like by a factor of this much more compared to what we would have expected them to appear together by random chance. So it's the ratio of how much they appear together actually over how much they would have appeared by random chance, just like mathematically without any prior knowledges. Do people think they get the 1F first part, the F11, F1F1? Then the second one right here is by calculating and commenting on the probabilities of finding Ashley Tisdale before and after knowing. So this is the given probability right here. So this is given Rihanna and Hilary Duff are in the playlist. The probability of knowing, the probability of Ashley Tisdale being in the playlist increases by a factor of this. And so this requires interpreting the value of the lift and the support of Ashley Tisdale. So we need the support of Ashley Tisdale right here. And the support of Ashley Tisdale is, where's the support? The support is going to go music. And then we need to go here to Ashley Tisdale. And let's go find her support. And I think, what is the lift for this? Because whatever the lift is, I think it's like 7.2. Then the confidence in the rule is 6.644. It's 7.2, yeah. So this right here tells us that Ashley Tisdale has an original probability of 8.95 being in the playlist at 8.95% of the time. But knowing that Rihanna and Hilary Duff are in the playlist, Ashley's Tisdale probability increases by a factor of 7.2. She's 7.2 times more likely to occur. So we would have a 64.4% chance of Ashley Tisdale being in the playlist given Hilary Duff and Rihanna in the playlist. Does that make sense? So this is saying how it impacts the probability of Ashley Tisdale. The other one is talking about the probability of finding all three together versus what we would have expected by random chance. Does that make sense on these two interpretations? This one focuses just Ashley Tisdale is 7.2 times more likely to appear in a playlist, given that Hilary Duff and Rihanna are in the playlist. Her original probability was 8.95%. It increases by a factor of 7.2 to a probability of 64.4. The other one is the lift of 7.2 indicates to us that the combination Ashley Tisdale, Rihanna, Hilary Duff occurs in playlists 7.2 times more than we would have expected to occur in playlists than by random chance. Who thinks they have these two interpretations right here pretty well down? And either of those are fine because they're both mathematically accurate. I go more towards the second a lot of times. Awesome question, Andrew. It looks like there was some good clarification on that. Thank you. 100 points, Andrew. What other questions are there? Surely we got some more. I started 5 minutes late. Coffee. Anyone seen the Futurama episode when Fry drinks like 200 cups of coffee? I go on short walks outside. And then people walk near me and I run away. I've started going on short walks because I started realizing, like, I was like, I haven't left the house in a week. Not that I live in a house. I haven't left my tiny apartment in a week. I need chorizo. Get away. I haven't gotten my hair cut in months. This is the longest my hair has been in like 2 decades. Nah, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, it's getting there. It gets the longest it gets. Like I can pull it down the front. I can pull down my bangs, and that's like the longest. It's getting there. 1 more month and it'll be. It's reaching. Just crazy hair. Yeah, vitamin D deficiency is a real thing. That's why I was like, I got to start going outside because I don't know. I was just feeling it, and I was like, probably. You got to balance the crazy world events, and it's really so. About to talk about the crazy world thing right here, but if you look at is this the right thing? Yeah, here we go. The 7-day trend on it. Ooh, wait. Is this today? Wait, this is yesterday. Okay, what's 3 weeks? 14th. What was it? Oh, it's still not good. Wait, there we go. 20. Yeah, it's still. Yeah, oh no, that's not good. So 7-day moving average is not good on this because people are like, oh, it went down today, but 7-day moving average. That's the thing you learn in time series is a moving average, and yeah, this is I don't know. This is because you're like, oh, it's down, but you have to go back 7 days on it. That's how a moving average works, is it compares the 7 day to, I think that's the 7 day right there. So we're by about, we get 2 days in a row of low. So this should be the 15th, right? Yeah, that's, okay, I marked the wrong day. That's the day right before this. This is yesterday, and this is a week ago yesterday right here. So we should, tomorrow's numbers should be good, but the moving trend is, I don't know. Statistics. 1H and I, you got it. Yours longer, Andrew. That's awesome. But moving averages, that's how we do moving averages, which is the way to do it, because you have to compare it's a weekly trend data. Make rules, remake the rules mine so that the minimum support is this. They have to be 30 times, and a minimum level of confidence of this. Don't remove the redundant and non-significance. Think of an artist or artist that you liked back in 2011. We got to start updating this assignment more. I'm going to you got a 1D next. You got it. So we need to go here, and we need to make rules mine. So let's make rules. You can call it whatever you want. We'll call it rules mine because it says to. But we need to do the a priori learning method. We're going to practice writing it out right here. We write out music. Then we go in here, and we go to parameter. Parameter equals list, because we're going to put in multiple things. It takes a list, so you have to be like, here's the things you want. I don't know why I can't take a concatenated vector, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I can't. I'm like thinking over my head. It wants support. Nope. Support equals to this. You have to put it in individually. And then, wait, I think we just left it. Yeah, we left the list. I noticed there with the sub indent that it wasn't doing what I wanted. Confidence equals this. These are, we're calling it rules mine because there's more rules for us to go through, so we can kind of mine these rules, like look through them. And then I'm going to store it into here. This will take a moment longer. Whoop, I didn't. This is what happens when you don't do verbose equals false. So we're going to change that here for the moment. Warning message, no big deal. So just so you can see what happens, if you go here to control equals list, verbose equals false. So the only change now is you don't see the output. So people wonder, like, what does this argument do? Which is a really good question. It just turns off that output you saw a moment ago. So you don't even get to see the warning message. So now with the rules that we have, we can write a cool function right here. Let's do this. Let's go to rules mine, and then we want to subset them. So let's go to subset and rules mine. And where does it say? Think of an artist that you particularly like. Don't use any of the rules studied, and see if any of the rules involve them on the left-hand side or right-hand side. So now we want to go here and put in conditions, left-hand side, percent in percent, and we're going to go here to name. I'll tell you why I'm doing that in a second. And then we can say or right-hand side, percent in percent, name. And then we should go to, and then we're going to call this sub. And then we're going to go to inspect, and it wants 5 rules. We're going to go to inspect sub 1 through 5. And let's talk about what we've done right here. So you might say, why did I put name when why don't you put in a name of an artist? Well, watch this. We're going to go here, and we're going to go to fun, and we're going to drop this inside of here now. So there were some questions about making functions, so I kind of wanted to review this right here. I could test this out, but I'm pretty sure this is going to work. And what I mean by test it out is I could put a name in here. But I'm going to do something even better, is I'm going to prompt the reader with a read line, and read line prompts the reader for something. And it's going to say, what artist is your favorite? And we're going to do that, and then we're going to store this into name. So whatever someone puts in here is going to be the name. And the function will be called make rules. Make 2011 rules. Okay, so we go here to make 2011 rules, and I put in Ben Folds. And error, unused argument, Ben Folds. Oh, no. Oh, ha 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 ha. It's not how I made my function. Ben Folds. There we go. Up, it's searching. Out of bounds. Okay, we got to put in one that we know exists. So let's try it again. Muse. There we go. Okay, there was no Ben Folds rules. There we go. Who has a favorite artist right here? And so here's the code right here. You just have to put in the names of your artists. And this code right here will pretty much do it. Oh, and then, the inspect does it. You know what you should do is you should put a return around this. But the inspect was doing it because inspect prints to the screen. Does anyone have a favorite artist? other than One Direction. Does anyone have a favorite artist? I like the Fray, but they're on his screen. Got to give me some favorite artists right here. We need favorite artists. Me, Panic at the Disco. Panic, a little Brendan, what's his name? At the Disco. Not there, not there. At least not spelled the way Brian spelled it. Brendan Urie, yeah. Brendan Urie's great. He's super talented. There we go. Look at that. And it actually reports, for some reason, the item frequency of the Beatles, I think because they're one of the top artists. So, yeah, Brendan Urie's like, that dude can sing. We'll get him on stream right here. I'll get him to, like, stream in. I don't know. One of these days we'll get streamers to appear on here. Oh, really? Is that one of the names of Panic at the Disco's album? You like his, he's really good. That dude can sing. So, that's all I can say. That's my best compliment. Is like, I don't know. I just hear him hitting all those high notes, like his range. The old ones are better. I mean, you can't beat like the classics. I know, right? I don't know. We can dream. We can dream of Brian just getting random people during office hours. That's what I want to do with like the Twitch. Is if we can get like Stat on Twitch, and we could have like Monday Night Madness where we have like a random streamer appear. Like Arian Foster does stuff on Twitch. And so if we could get Arian Foster on here, and he's got some music stuff too. I think it has a music career now, so we could check out Arian Foster, a UT alumni right there. We've got some One Eye we're doing next right here. You went to, I hope it was Arian Foster's concert. That'd be awesome. I thought it was Brendan Urie's. But shout outs to Arian Foster right there. Great guy, doing some good stuff. So create, like they're gonna watch this video. Create music 2 and rules 2 as follows, which contain association rules among the more obscure bands. All users who listen to any of the top 20 most frequently listened to bands were eliminated. Plot these rules with set.c 2018, plot da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. And so that's the code. We just take the code, we drop the code, we do it right here, and we're going to plot the rules. Turns out there are associations between rock and metal bands. So let's go here. Let's plot the rules. Okay, we're going to have to open up our plot window a little bit bigger. The last concert I went to, we went to a comedy show a while back. Comedy shows are, like, they're really good. Like, had really great experiences with comedy shows. Rule 2 is not found. Oh, because wait, do we need rules 2? Do we create rules 2? We're dead. We need to create rules 2. Yep, here's where we create rules 2. Hopefully, I think rules 2... Music 2 not found. Music 2. Okay, cool. And now we've created rules 2. We got rules 2 created. If I'm missing, wait. Where's the thing? Here we go. Boom. The A rules viz is really interesting. And so this is on the assignment. I won't put it on the test, but you can basically see where there's connections between bands, and I'm trying to, like, once again, this won't be on the test. You can also export these, and you can make them way bigger. So let's try 10.8 in rplot 05. So rplot 05, there it is right there. And now it's way easier to read. So that's a trick right there to make it easier. So this song is sticking. I haven't seen that. I haven't listened to that, Andrew. And so what you see right here is you see a lot of bands leading to like Iron Maiden, a lot of bands leading to Metallica. So these are the ways the rules go. Like this is the right-hand side. Like if an arrow points to something, it's like given someone listens to Iron Maiden, that'll impact them listening to Metallica. Given someone listens to AC/DC, then they'll go through here and they'll listen to Metallica. So you can see like the connection and the follow through the rules. AC/DC is connected to Iron Maiden, and then you've got things coming out and just going every which way with all these rules. But you can kind of tell where like the big bands are is like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Megadeth, and you can kind of see like you've got like your like 90s rockish, like 80s and 90s. You've got like more like I guess like 70s and 80s stuff over here. Like just think about AC/DC and Motorhead and Black Sabbath. And then you start to move towards like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Pantera, Led Zeppelin. Surprised Led Zeppelin's not further over on the other side. They just don't have many good connections. But like Megadeth is more connected to Metallica. than it is like AC/DC, which I guess also shocks me too. So this is what's going on with all these rules. It's kind of a connection between like what influences what, and then the size of the circles is related to the confidence and support of the rules, the size of the circle and the color of the circle. So it's a little hard to tell everything that's going on, but rules with, I'm trying to remember if it's the size of the circle, which is the confidence, or the size of the circle, which is the support. But we probably are not going to have to go that in depth on our explanation. Let's take a look at what the questions ask for these. Turns out there's association. What's interesting though is linked to incoming clusters. So Brian Color. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Andrew. Do listeners of Metallica tend to listen to Iron Maiden and vice versa? Yes or no? So Metallica and Iron Maiden. So let's zoom in on this. We got Metallica, and then we've got Iron Maiden right here. And I see Iron Maiden listening going into Metallica, and then wait, look at this. Boom, right here. And then you see this arrow right here going from here to here. There's a connection going from Metallica to Iron Maiden, and then there's an Iron Maiden going into Metallica. So as everyone see, I can see the connection between Metallica going to Iron Maiden and Iron Maiden going into Metallica. So there's a link, not just like Slayer going to Metallica. Like Slayer goes through this rule right here into Metallica. So it's like left-hand side, and this is like the rule connecting to Metallica. So, but you can see Metallica goes through a rule into Iron Maiden, and then Iron Maiden also goes into a rule into Metallica. So there's complete linkage between those. So they're both connected. People who listen to Iron Maiden listen to Metallica. People who listen to Metallica listen to Iron Maiden. Do listeners of Megadeth tend to listen to Black Sabbath or AC/DC? So we got Megadeth listeners with Black Sabbath and AC/DC. Let's use our zoomed in version. Here's Megadeth. And so we want to look at Black Sabbath and AC/DC. So where is Megadeth connected? And it looks like I don't see rules connecting, because here's Black Sabbath. Ooh, that's such a crazy cluster. And here's AC/DC all by themselves. Is this not connected? I think they're not connected here. So we're going to see, do listeners of Megadeth tend to listen to Black Sabbath or AC/DC and vice versa? Yes or no? And how do you know? They're not connected by any real linkage right here. The Megadeth, I don't see any rules connecting them to Black Sabbath. Does anyone, I don't see any direct connection. I'm trying to see if, no, there's no arrows, because they have to go through like Judas Priest. So you don't really go to Megadeth, to Black Sabbath, and AC/DC. These things are pretty, we should have maybe made it Slayer, because it's even more obvious then that there's no connection between these. So that is no, not happening there. And I think that's it. Is that it for that one? That looks to be it. Does that make sense right here, how to read the graphic and understand where rules are connecting? That if you see something like this, this is Slayer on the left-hand side, and then this is the rule, leads to Metallica. So somehow Slayer, listening to Slayer impacts Metallica. And we could go look it up right here, and we could find out the confidence and the lift for this rule. You also have Slayer, listening to them somehow leads to Iron Maiden right here. You've got right here, if you go from Black Sabbath, you'd go to, I think that's Black Sabbath. Wait, it's so hard to tell with all these circles sometimes. Wait, there's Black Sabbath, and I think they just didn't put the arrow here because it was so close, going to Iron Maiden, which apparently has ridiculous confidence. Like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden, I'm not a big fan of, like, I guess, this sort of rock. I mean, it's just not what I listen to. And I guess they're super connected. Like, does anyone like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden? Are you like, oh my gosh, Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden? Those two are, like, if you like Black Sabbath, you love Iron Maiden, which those look to have some of the highest confidence in here and lift. So they're really connected. A lot of strong connections there. Does that make sense? We got that one. If the song is good, I like it. Yep. That's what I say. If it's got piano, I like it. I'm sure there's bad piano. Let's take a look. What other questions are there? Was there any others? I thought we saw 1D. I don't know if we've done 1D yet. Let's take a look at 1D. I keep making iced coffee, and I drink too much coffee because it's good. There we go. You should find that one of the top rules in terms of lift is Hilary Duff Rihanna. 81 listeners like this set of 3 artists. First, explain how you can get the number 81 from the support of the rule. Okay, so what is the support of the rule mean? First, explain, yep. What does the support of the rule mean? The support of the rule is how many? 2A for 4-7. You got it, Carly. We'll do it next year. Piano and violin, Dresden Dolls. I don't know if Dresden Dolls are in here. What is the support of the rule? What is the support of the rule? It's how often, what is the support of the rule? That is something we should know pretty quickly. Like, the support of the rule, Hillary Duff, Rihanna, Ashley Tisdale is the what? We should be able to figure this out. Second right line of our code that produces A1 by counting up the number of transactions that contain all three of these. Unity, wait, I don't know. I wonder if that prints. That $sign there looks like a typo. So we don't probably have to use length in which. We don't have to. So the support of a rule is how often everything in the rule appears. So we should be able to go to subset, and this is where it gets confusing. You can put in music here, and you can go to items, and then percent AIN percent, and then we're going to take these names, and we're not going to try to spell them. We're just going to drop them in here, and then we're going to delete out the stuff that'll make it not work, and then we're going to go here and put quotes around them, because these are strings, these are characters. And there we go, the subset, and now we've done it, and we could probably just go length of this subset. We could try it the other way. There we go. That gets us the amount right there. Once again, what is the difference right here? We should know that these are the people who have any of these artists in their playlist. So there's 484 playlists that have some sort of any of these artists. Like it could have all three, it could have two, it could have one. But when you do the AIN, you have to have every single one of these artists in your playlist. So AIN means the playlist we are looking at. And we could look at this by going here to inspect, and you would see that whatever playlist it is has all three of those. Like Rihanna, was it Hillary Duff, and then Ashley Tisdale. So they have to have all three of those right here. So, but if you do %IN percent, then they could have just one of those. So if you look right here, this has Ashley Tisdale. It must have Rihanna, right? Was that the last one? There we go. Because I didn't see it. But does that make sense? The difference between %AIN percent and %IN percent? Those are the two we really care about. Doesn't hurt to know PIN, but that won't be on the test because it's not in the notes. I know I go off notes sometimes, so it's just because there's so much to learn. And even Dr. Petrie was emailing me today with things we're going to update for 474 because we're looking at what Berkeley's doing. We're looking at the top universities with the data mining they're doing. And we're looking at a thing called Jupyter Notebook. And Dr. Petrie's like, we need to start doing this because they're doing it. We got to have our students being the best. So we definitely focus in on, every year we're looking at what's the best practices. So we are going to be updating and using better and better stuff. Not that what we do now is bad, but it's always like, got to improve, got to stay up. Okay, remake the rules music, but use the default parameters for everything, i.e. remove this. So let's do this. So this is where the code hated me today. It just wouldn't do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to remake the rules now, and we have to know what a priori the arguments are. It shows us right there. We take music, and we're not going to put in any parameters now. We can do options, control, not control. We can do control equals list, verbose equals false. This turns off the verbose output, and we're going to call this rules. And that should do it. How many rules were found? And it says remove the redundant. And so, hey, so my RMD file won't let me run a rules because it says ggplot2 doesn't exist. It says it doesn't exist. Here, let's check. Run this line of code here. Let me do this. Library ggplot2, just so I don't misspell it. Installed packages. There you go, that. Run that right there, Madeline. That should fix it. Good job, Madeline. 100 points. Thanks for asking. Don't worry. Common questions. Better to do it now than to it break later on. We need to remove the redundants. I'm going to cheat. We did this earlier. We wrote it out by hand. Oh, I'm searching through the chat. But we did this earlier, so we already did it once. So since you've already done it, use your code when you did the redundants and you remove the rules. So here we are. We're just going to go back down to 2 now, question 2. And we're just going to drop this in afterwards. And I am overwriting my rules, so watch out. This changes what I'm doing, and we get 500 rules. Does that make sense there, Carly? We wrote this earlier. Make sure you have these lines of code, and that's it right there. So it's in the chat. And how are people doing on this? Keep asking questions if you want. Awesome, Carly. Yeah. That we are doing well. Ask more questions. take a few more questions right here. It says it doesn't exist. Can you send me an email of it, Madeline? We'll get it fixed up no matter what. Don't worry. I could like send you the image and you could put it in there. So send me an email. Send me an email of the error it's giving you with the install.packages. Because like when you install .packages, then does it give another error and it says like such and such? When you run install.packages ggplot, does that give an error at the bottom saying like PROC is not existing? So when you run when you run the install.packages ggplot2, then what does that specifically say? And also make sure to copy paste the code I wrote directly from here, because it could be like one typo. It could be like you maybe put like GG with a capital G or something, which I think you'd probably see. But so many times I've had a misquote, or I've had I mean, it's just funny. Like you redo it and all of a sudden it works. Also, the trick of closing down R and restarting it. Hey, that worked for me today. Make sure you hit no if it says to update. Yeah, so hit no. And there's so many little things. And that's once again why always we start early, because something like this will drive you mad. And look at the Mon console. It says it's only when I run a rules viz that it's like it doesn't exist. It's so weird. I think I had the same problem earlier in class. Try this. Tell me what output you get when you run this right here. Run this line of code right here, Madeline, and tell me, just run that code verbatim as is. Wait, no, that code won't work. Don't run that code. That's, oh, wait a minute. Madeline. Oh my gosh. Ay. Sorry, it's my fault. I'm just sighing at myself. This is what happens when and so, sorry. When you pull up the library, it pulls up this way. But when you do it, question 3, you got it. You see, even I'm capable of making very common mistakes. It's just when you download libraries, it looks for this string right here on the CRAN server. So you have to put the library name in quotes when you're downloading it. When you're loading it, though, you don't put the library name in quotes. So when I load ggplot2, it's not in quotes. But if I go to install.packages and I want to do something like reg class has to be in quotes for it to actually work. If I do without quotes, it won't work. So sorry, that first line of code, it's just, and that won't work. It says reg class not found. So sorry, the error is probably due to me, and you just sometimes forget something. So your brain just goes, wait, whoops. Did it the wrong way. Imagine that during the course of a market basket analysis, you find that one items for illustration is the consequent of dozens of rules, but it never appears as the antecedent. So since it's the consequent, what side does it appear on? Let's put a note right here. It's the consequent. What side is it on? I.e., the what side? So what side of the rule is it? What side of the rule is it? It's always the consequent. The right-hand side. Yep. So the consequent is the right-hand side of dozens of rules, but it never appears as the antecedent, the left-hand side. In other words, we see the rules like, well, it literally tells you right there, but never rules like, yes, what we might do with this information? What might we do? What might we do with this information? One thing we could do is place granola bars strategically around the store near items involved in the rules in order to prompt people to buy them. I know my food city has bananas in random places, it seems, and maybe this explains why. If we want to use these association rules to increase sales at the store, which of course of action or do both makes sense based on the data and why? Discount granola bars with the hopes of increasing the sales of dozens of products involved in the store. Having a promotion where you get 25% off coupon for granola bars when you buy any products that appear in the antecedents rules. Which of these sounds better, A or B? Let's do a vote right here. We're going to do a vote A or B because it's time. We haven't done a vote in a few days. Let me hop in here, Streamlabs. Be picking now between A and B. Hopping over here to the dashboard. Let's see what people say, A or B. Remember, you're trying to make more money. That's the goal of this. So we're going to go here to polls. I might even do a little messing around on this, see if I can get it fixed up. So get ready to vote. I think I can add another poll. Add poll? Cool. Choose. You get 100 points for playing along. A or B. It's vote A, vote B. I need more polls ready. And so the poll is added. And now we're going to start the poll. The poll is started. And with the poll started right here, vote A or vote B? Vote B. Let's see here. What do people say? Voting B. A lot of people voting B right now. So vote, here, look at the two votes again. In A, we're going to discount the granola bars with hopes that it'll raise the sales of the other items. With B, we'll say to people, if you buy these items, you will then get granola bars 25% off, 25 cents off, which, like $3 items. So you're like, oh, I get 25% off granola bars. So, and I think there's a very, very clear strategy here. It's sad. Like, I don't want to be like, you're fired. But if somebody were to say option A, I would say no. Hopefully no one jumped in at the last moment. No one said option A as far as I saw. But you might be like, why? If you're watching this right now, you'd be like, well, why can't we just do option A? What's wrong with option A? Because if you're saying we discount granola bars in hopes of selling the other items, let's go look at it again. If we discount granola bars, well, think about this. We're going to discount granola bars in hopes of selling the other items. We're going to say if we sell granola bars, maybe that'll lead to selling more other items. So why is A just a very bad idea? Because our goal is to sell the other items. We're like, oh, if we discount granola bars, we might sell other items. And I've got something highlighted right now. Just think about the way the rule is structured. Granola bars is always on the right-hand side. So granola bars is always on the right-hand side. So what does that mean? Granola bars doesn't lead to buying other items. Other items lead to buying granola bars. So if we discount granola bars, discount the granola bars in hopes of selling other items. If we discount the granola bars, selling more granola bars doesn't lead to buying other items. Selling the other items leads to people buying granola bars. So we might send people a coupon, which will make them more likely to buy the first item. And we could maybe say like, okay, we know that 20% of our people buy I don't know, I'm trying to think of some people who don't know about it, macaroni and cheese. But if you buy macaroni and cheese, you get a 25% off coupon for granola bars. So the people are probably going to buy the granola bars anyways. And they're like, oh, I buy granola bars anyways, and I'll save money on my granola bars if I buy this mac and cheese. Does that make a little more sense? Like, they're like, okay, if I buy the mac and cheese, which, hey, we could make some mac and cheese, I'm going to buy the granola bars anyways. So we're then using this rule to our advantage to say, let's increase the people who are buying the mac and cheese because we're already going to sell the granola bars. If you sell more granola bars, you won't sell more mac and cheese. If you sell mac and cheese, you'll probably sell the granola bars because we know people who buy mac and cheese are more likely to buy granola bars. So let's get more people to buy the mac and cheese because, yeah, if we put the granola bars on sale, it won't impact the sales of mac and cheese. So that's the big thing. Does that make sense with these rules right here? Option A is a horrible choice. Sorry, option A. You can even put in stars like that. Oh, didn't do it. No. What other questions are there? With a good stream today. We'll keep answering questions. I've got all these balloons downhill. Woo! These balloons are from February. How do they stay inflated? How do balloons stay inflated that long? 2B1. 2B1. Let's do 2B1. 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 How many rules have a confidence between 90 and 0.95 inclusive? I'm going to do this the better way that I've had my coffee right now. And so there's a quality to rules, which they were pointing out earlier, which this is in the notes, and it's quality, which is in the A rules. And you can go to the quality. We need to look at these rules we just created right here. And so the quality of a rule, you can go to rules, and you can go in here, and you can get the confidence. So we should be able to see the confidence of all the rules. So we've just taken and assessed, and I think I even got a quicker way of doing this, because if we want right here, we just want the quality of the rules. So you can literally get the confidence, the support, but you can just get from here the different values just like this. Does everyone understand? I'm looking at my rules. I'm just getting some sort of quality. So they utilize the coupon to discount the price of another item, but won't it just have a weird association for different items instead? Because they're saying if I sell more mac and cheese, we should sell more granola. because selling the mac and cheese, you could just put the mac and cheese on sale because maybe people buying mac and cheese makes them more likely to buy granola, but you're also kind of incentivizing them to buy 2 items together, like increasing amount of items people buy in their cart. Like it's like if you buy this item, you get something off another item. So you're actually buying 2 items. So think about it. You could just put the mac and cheese on sale, or you could say buy item A, get item B for less, because you know people who buy mac and cheese are more likely to buy granola bars. So you're kind of making a double sale. And you could maybe send that to your people who buy mac and cheese who don't buy granola bars. So that way you're increasing their market basket. And you could maybe start to get them to buy your granola bars more often. You're like, these people buy mac and cheese, usually buy granola bars. These people don't. Let's send them coupons to see if they'll do it. And it's those sorts of analytics are all about getting people to spend money. Now then, pure, you stop acting weird. You start acting weird one day, you just don't do it. And so these are the rules greater than 90% right here. And then, man, this one, Andrew, you remember after class when Brian's brain was just like not working? Now look at this. Now look at this. We're having this one done in seconds here. This is going to give us a vector of trues and falses. You know we can do this vector of trues and falses. 100 points. What are we going to put around this to figure out how many? What are we going to put around this to figure out how many? Just solve it like that. What are we going to put around this to figure out how many things meet the conditions? How are we going to... close. You know what? We can't do length. Sum. There we go. You can use length if you use length which, but remember, trues and falses are ones and zeros. Ahmed right there with the 100 points coming. We got everyone else gets 50. Ahmed gets 100 right there. You could do length which, but which will just turn it to the positions of the rules that meet the condition, and then you could go around and do length. But it's just a longer trek to do this right here if you do that. Don't worry, it's a way of doing it, but some will just find out how many things meet the conditions. So like that. And it's just practice. The more you see it, that's why I'm using, it's kind of old school, the R basics. How many rules have levels of confidence and lift? You know what we should be able to do? Should be able to take the quality stuff right here. We're just going to go right here. And I like doing my code right below it. You can always put in your own R chunks. You're welcome to. So you could go here. Is it 2B2? Sure. Just put in your own chunks. Put in your own answers. Be careful. If you don't know how this works, you could destroy it. You see how that destroys the chunk. Be careful if you make changes. Sarah, you might want to send it to me. We were getting that earlier. You're probably missing a rule that has the one that's the confidence. I guess technically. Send me your code real quick. Please, if you get it wrong on the thing and the grader says you're wrong, this is where, like, I probably spent like 10 minutes on this question or maybe 15 minutes on this question earlier today, and I made a drawing here for it, and there's a rule with 95% confidence, and because of that, that's the rule you're including with 194. And, oh, wait. No, it's 194. You're not including it with 193. I was like, wait a minute. Literally lack of food, lack of caffeine, under bright lights. I'm just gonna complain. Yeah, I put in the points. That's what I do. I put in the points, Andrew. After every class, I respond to all the emails. Oh, you might have done it the way I did it. Sarah, if you're doing it the way I did it earlier, we can fix it. Do you have here's how to fix it. One of your rules set 3 is probably this. Change it to this. So Sarah, make the change right here. No, don't worry. Just make the change to your 95 and make it that. Where you're doing the a priori, because you're probably doing the a priori method of doing it, change it to this, and that will then include the 95. Or you're probably fine to do that right there. Just change the a priori where you do a confidence of this, because you're doing the method I have drawn here, which was the way I first did it, because you're making a set of rules that have this confidence, a set of rules that have this confidence, and then you're doing it there, which a great job you figured it out on your own. That's a longer way, and I did it that way earlier. Yes, it worked. Because what it was is, what's interesting is the way it works, and technically the 90, I guess, should technically be, you think about because of this and the way it works, it should technically be something like that. Now, don't worry, but technically, it's just that there's a rule with exactly 95% confidence, and that rule got removed. So we want to make sure we include that rule, and that fixes it. This took me quite a while earlier. Great job, Sarah. If someone gets 93 or 94, 194, 193, don't worry. Just tell me. I'll fix it because I made that mistake earlier, and it took me like 15 minutes to figure out what was going on. I was like, what's going on? But the fun of it, like, who is with me on this? Like, when you figure something out in coding, when you get something working, who else gets that really great, like, great feeling? Like, who else, when you figure something out, it work, like, you're like, yes. Like, like, you get it working, and you're like, yes, perfect, got it. Anyone else? You got it. 5A, you got it. Let's do those next here. Anybody? Am I the only one? Yeah, Carly right there. 100 parts Carly. You know it's, they got it. Kelsey right there. Relatable, Madeline. Yeah, when you get it, yes. That's, I still get that to this day. That we, greater than or equal to. Please tell me if I'm wrong on these. Less than or equal to that. Is this it? Is it 264? That seems way high. How many rules have confidence of at least this and lifts between this and this? Inclusive. I guess, do I have the key still up? You guys tell me if I'm wrong. We did it earlier. Do I have the key up? I'm going to go look at the key. That's what I'm going to do. I don't want to give wrong answers. Wait, that's not the key. 2 seconds while Brian goes and looks at the key. I'm pretty sure it's right, but, never hurts to know. I'm sure you won't mind if I check your answers right here, rather than just being like, yeah, it's right. We'll just say it's right. Okay, let's see. Is it 264? The answer is, just checking, making sure. There's that. Yeah, why'd I doubt it? It's 264. Yep, 194, 264. Next one is 34. So it is that. I just, for some reason, I don't know, I'm second guessing myself. Shouldn't do that. Like right there. Vaderna. Yeah. Okay. 100 points right there. Up to 200 points during these office hours. 5A and 5C. Okay, 5A, 5C, 5A, 5C. Okay, here we go. So we have right here that there's no real intrinsic importance to lift, confidence, support, all that stuff. It's not like you're like, oh, a lift of 5, that's awesome. I mean, it just means that that item right-hand side is 5 times more likely given items left-hand side are in the cart, or the combination of items left-hand side and right-hand side appear 5 times more than we would have expected items left-hand side, right-hand side to appear by random chance. So is that important? I don't know. It depends on if you care. So this is all practical significance. So the whole question right here is, are these things practically significant? So it is found that rule, let's just call this like bread. Let's call this applesauce. And let's call this milk. Has a confidence of 1 and a support of 12. Okay, so when you see a confidence of 1, you should automatically know what that means for this rule. What does the support of 1 mean for this rule instantaneously? We review this all the time. Like, I ask these questions 10 times. This is why maybe watching the class is going to help your grade. You should be like, oh, the confidence in the rule. What does the confidence in the rule mean right there? What the heck does that confidence in the rule mean? Any guesses? If somebody buys, what does the confidence of 1 mean? If somebody buys, the probability they will very close. Not that's just that it's very high. If somebody has bread and applesauce in their cart, they will have milk. The probability that they have milk is 100%. So that's what the confidence is. Sarah, going out right there, 100 points. Great job. So if someone has bread and applesauce in their cart, they will have milk in their cart. The probability of someone having milk, given they have bread and applesauce, is 100%. The support right here, if somebody buys bread and applesauce, they buy milk. Yep, because it's 100%. So if it were to be 90%, then the probability they have bread, or the probability they have milk, given they have bread and applesauce, is 90%. And what does the support mean right here? We should know what support means instantaneously. What does the support mean? Nice job, Kelsey and Andrew. 100 points both of you right there. What does the support mean for this right here? What does the support mean? Well, it kind of says it below. 12% of the cards have items A, B, and C. So 12% of the cards have, yeah, Carly, 100 points, perfect. Support is the how often all items in the rule are bought. So the support is 12% of cards have bread, applesauce, and milk. 12% of the cards have bread, applesauce, and milk. We also find that item C, however, think of a rule that has 100% confidence, has absolutely no practical consequence or significance. Think about the support of C. What does the support of C mean? Supportive C is the item frequency. What do you think the item frequency of milk is? Someone give me an item frequency of milk. Who knows what would be the item frequency of milk? Any estimates of the item frequency of milk? We'll see if Dennis is still here in a bit because I might try that Discord stuff. Should do maybe a private stream for that though. And then we can see if the Discord works. I can probably do it on a public stream. Try the Discord and get it working. We do a lot of like, we have so many test streams. Like if you were to see on the YouTube channel, it's like test stream, like bitrate test streams and all that stuff. 90%. So here, the original probability of milk is 90%. And then you're saying, and I even like going higher. I like going something like 98%. And so now, if the original support of milk is 98%, then think about this, that the lift right here would actually be very tiny. The maximum lift we could get is 1.02. So you could only increase the probability of 98% by 2%, which would then achieve 100% probability. And I think I've got something weird with my rounding right now. I've got, my significant digits. Let me try something. Options, SciPen, 6, options, digits, 6. There we go. Where's my digits at? So I make so many changes to R in the background. But you can control how many digits are reports and everything like that. You can control where scientific notation starts with SciPen. So I just was like, it's more than 2%. It's just barely more though, because 2% of 98 is not enough. It's a little bit more. So when you think about this, if 98% of people, and great job, Sarah, right there, 100 points. If 98% of people buy milk, well, then everyone buys milk. And since let's just say everyone buys milk, then the support of milk is 100%. Well, then everybody who buys milk, everyone who buys bread and applesauce would already be buying milk anyways. So it doesn't help you. It's not like, put milk on scale. You never see milk on sale. I mean, you might see milk on sale if it's about to go bad, like, hey, we got to get rid of this milk. But milk doesn't really go on sale much. Even, the craziness doesn't really go on sale. So your roommate doesn't buy milk. It's all preference. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I should start trying almond milk. There's like almond milk, there's soy milk, and there's another one. I think almond milk is, I don't know, maybe I should start really drinking some almond milk. Oat milk, that's the one I'm thinking of. Sarah right there, 100 points. Doesn't buy groceries. Does he just like eat fast food? What's he eat? Does he not eat? Almond milk, coconut milk. Maybe I could do coconut milk. I don't like coconut water though. Whole milk all the way. Whole milk. I go 2%. Isn't whole milk like what, 3%? Because it's not like, I don't know. I'm so confused. Like, I don't know. I grew up with 2%, and like whatever you grow up with, that's what you get used to. Like if you grow up with skim, then 2%, it's like, whoa. You're like, oh my gosh, what is this milk? What am I drinking? Normally a lift of 1.25 does not generate much attention, but it's so close. My filet has, oh my gosh. Whole milk is good for you? Yeah, no, I should, I mean, you know what I should do? I should just like have all these different milks, like soy, oat, and figure out which one I like. I miss having like breakfast with like milk every morning. That's like, I don't know, but I eat like junky cereal. I eat like Lucky Charms. Like Lucky Charms is so good. And Rice Krispie Treat cereal. See, I just eat like sugar. It's such a horrible morning cereal. It's good though. Normally a lift of 1.25 does not generate much attention, but it's so close to 1. However, think of a scenario, i.e. a number of all fraction of carts with B, which is the support of item B in it, where the rule A implies B having a lift of 1.25 would imply that item B in the cart is in the cart 100%. So, i.e. the confidence in the rule. So when you think about this right here, oh, Carly, I'm sorry. I think as you get older, you get more lactose intolerant. And I'm getting older, so your body can't break down lactose as much. And I will say this, I think everyone's lactose intolerant to a degree because you can only break down so much lactose because your body, because it takes lactase to break down lactose, I believe. Or we break down lactose and lactose, I don't know. So when you think about this right here, a lift of 1.25, when would this be very important? Like when would a company be very happy for us to achieve a lift of 1.25? This is a good written test question. When would a company be very proud of us for achieving a lift of 1.25? Who in the chat can tell us? It's kind of a review question from earlier. Good question right here. When would a company be very proud to see us achieve a lift of 1.25? When would a company be very proud to see us achieve a lift of 1.25? Think about what that means. It means we raised the original probability of somebody buying an item by 125%. It's like the original probability, the new probability is now 125%, i.e. the confidence. So we would take the original probability and raise it by 1.25, like by a factor of that, which is 125% of its original probability. So when would the company be super happy about that? In what scenario would they be like, whoa, that's amazing, you achieved that? When would the company be really happy with a lift of 1.25? Any ideas on that? When would the company be super excited for a lift of 1.25? Think about the original probability and think about how good we could make it. So what is the best amount of time we could sell an item? So what is the best amount of time we could sell an item? Any ideas on the best amount of time we could sell an item? If we're trying to sell an item to what amount of time could we sell that item the most? Any ideas? What's the most we could sell an item to what percent of our customers? Oh no! 100x points first person right here. What's the most we could sell? You can get up 300 now. 100%. Phaedra, no, you're right. So this right here is the 100%. So like 1.0. So that's the highest confidence we could have. Does that make sense? So we could sell an item 100% of the time. So when would a lift of 1.25 be really awesome? If the original support was what? If the original support was what, we'd achieve a confidence of 100%. If the original support was this, a lift of 1.25 would get us a confidence of 100%. When would this be really awesome? Because the lift is telling us we would have a factor increase of 1.25 from the original support of B to a new confidence of 1.0. So you can backwork it if you want. You could take 1.0 and say what was the original, because we can unlift it. So we can unlift it right here, and we get what? 100 points on top of your score. You can still get 300, or Phaedra can get 400. Boom, Sarah, you got it. Yep. Does that make sense that this is the original probability B, and why is this good right here? Because it's like you sell bananas to 80% of people, but you figure out a way to sell bananas to 100% of people. So maybe if you send out like a coupon for, like, I don't know, like apples, like maybe you realize that if you send a coupon to apples for people to apples, the apples are like right next to the bananas, and people who buy apples will buy the bananas. Or you could figure out some combination that these people buy apples and strawberries, and if you get them to buy the apples and the strawberries, they buy the bananas. So you've got your like strawberry buyers, and then you sell them apples, and then they're like, hey, I'm gonna make some fruit salad or something right here. So the confidence, the original support of the item is 80%. So the original support of B is 80%. The confidence in the rule is 100%. So the confidence in the rule is 100%, and the lift right here is this. So so much. There we go. When you put things in stars, it bolds it. So if I were to knit this now, this would be in bold. So it just looks nice when you do it like this. It kind of highlights it. But if you knit it, it'll be in bold, which maybe you want that. Or you can just bold it in Word afterwards. It's LaTeX coding. Does that make sense right here, what's going on, Sarah, with the confidence, the lift, the support, keywords we should know throughout this chapter? If you think about what are the key things to know from this chapter, it's how confidence, lift, support work, the a priori learning method. I feel like we've covered this really well. We've done a lot of work on this because we did it like at the start of last week, and then it kind of went into this week because the test was last week. So we kind of focused in on the test a good bit and made sure we understood that material. But who feels like they kind of have the hang of market basket analysis a bit? Like you understand why we do it. Hopefully it makes sense, and we can do it with things like music, or we could do it with things like Julio could do it with players. So got to catch up with Julio here. We got the sports on today, but we'll see if there's any other questions. But I think there's some good office hours, hour and a half office hours. I need to start putting some timestamps in videos, but I think that's got it. We got some punch out music. We'll see what questions people have. If you have a question, go ahead. I can't go anywhere, Andrew. I need to get a VR headset. I need to like go and put on a VR headset and play pool in VR. Like, I'm so sorry, Andrew. I'm so sorry. Brian. Brian doesn't go anywhere. I feel bad because I don't know. I like I went to see my parents and I was like, I can't get too close to you. Happy Father's Day. But no. And hopefully the world, I don't know. It's the one good news about this, we got to have some good news. This is good news with Brian Stevens right here. Good news is that the deaths are way down. The 7-day moving average on that is looking better. So either we got better treatments, so cases are going up, mortality rate is going down, 7-day moving average on that is constantly declining. So that is good news. We always got to talk about, hey, what's good, what's bad. Once again, you have to look at the 7-day moving average because that's going to take into account the weekly variation, because when you do these sorts of charts, there's a 7-day period where you can't be like, oh, it's going down. No, it's the 7-day, and this accounts for this. So this is a smoothing right here. It's a moving average of it, and that's going to show you the 3-day kind of gets you a little smoother. But since it's weekly data, like there's a weekly trend to this. I mean, I don't know why, but at least when it comes to maybe hospitalizations, deaths, and everybody saying goodbye to a room instead of everyone in the chat. I know, right? But well, I think that's got it. And so we see some good news here that the chart is going down, and that's good news. So, the numbers are what the numbers are. We take a look at them. We try to figure out. And then let's look at Tennessee today. How is Tennessee? I gotta care about Texas. How's Tennessee and Texas doing? How are Tennessee and Texas doing? So many charts. Hopefully more people care about data after this. Tennessee, we used to only have 100 cases a day, or 200-300. Now we're up to 400 or 500. And Texas had a spike. Oof. Texas. No, Texas. Don't do that. Don't spike. Bad. So that's Texas' bigger state, though. Thank you, Blind Buddy. You're welcome, everyone. I'm going to stop worrying about all this COVID stuff. But that's got it. We're good. Let's head off here with a little bit of... Wait, is this the right button? Here we go. See everybody later. It's time to go.